Hi everyone. So it's been exactly 14 days since I moved back to Mongolia, to Ulaanbaatar. Um, After living in California for 9 years, I did come back over the years, maybe 3 times total, to Mongolia, to Ulaanbaatar. And it's so funny that I keep saying Ulaanbaatar because that's not exactly how I pronounce it, but that's how it's pronounced in English. And I want to talk about 9 things I've noticed since I came back. Because, 9 years, 9 things I've noticed since I moved back to where I was born, where I was raised. And these are things that I've just noticed within 2 weeks. Okay? First thing is people look at, I made a list. First thing is people look at you a lot. That's something I've noticed, and that's something that made me feel more self-conscious in the beginning. That fact did not make me. I made myself more self-conscious, right? So as you go out and walk on the street, or when you're exposed to the public, people do look at you. Just look at in your direction, look into your eyes, look at your body. They just look at you. And I think that's because people are curious. Mongolians are curious about each other, or especially if you're a foreigner, if you are foreign presenting, if you're not an Asian, East Asian, then obviously they will look at you more. My experience, I'm a Mongolian. I think they see me as a Mongolian. Even then, they do look at me, and that, triggered something in me about like feeling conscious, feeling self-conscious. Yeah, so that's not something I really experienced in LA. People look away from you. They don't brazenly look at you. They maybe themselves also self-conscious about making someone uncomfortable, or they don't want to make someone uncomfortable, or they themselves feel uncomfortable. I don't know, but people look away, especially when they're caught looking at you. They like directly look away. They redirect their eyes. In Mongolia, that's not necessarily the case. They don't right away like look away. They either keep on looking at you, or just, I don't know, the moment passes. So that's one difference. Second thing, people care more about each other. So what I mean by that is, okay, I don't know how someone else would feel about this, like someone who's not Mongolian. As someone who's Mongolian, whenever I approach someone in the store, in public, they're very nice. Like they address you as sweetie, darling, like sister or something. It's very homely and close and warm. And they actually do, like, whenever someone makes a decision, when someone plans something, it doesn't have to be a stranger, someone in your family, someone they really do care about you. They do keep you into consideration, your needs into consideration. And that just makes me feel included, makes me feel loved. So people do care about each other. Especially like people calling you like, sweetie, darling, or, whatever the equivalent is in Mongolian. It's like, they would be like, oh, mini tu, mini akung, or like something. I don't exactly remember what they called me, but something like that. It just feels so nice, you feel loved, even in public. Thing. People have more rich lives. I don't mean people are more rich uh, than some people in LA. Obviously, that's all relative. People have richer lives, meaning um, they are surrounded by family. Things are more community based. Um, People want to do stuff with other people. With that comes, more joy, more things to do, laughter. People have richer lives. It's not just like me coming home from work, watching TV by myself, um, hanging out with a couple of friends here and there. That is a very common lifestyle in America, in the United States, because things are more individualized and you want to keep your own peace. Um, you want to do your stuff your own way. And I think there is a golden balance in between, being community based, being a part of a community while being an individual, instead of either like being um really meshed into the community and losing sense of your identity. Also, the other end is like isolating yourself from others to prevent yourself from being triggered or being lost. And being like losing yourself, what does that mean? Like, who were you? And how connected, how, you know, devoted were you to that identity? And why can't it be lost? That's a totally different conversation that I would love to talk about, but I want to focus on this list. Right? So what I mean is people just have more to do. There's more community, more people. It's fun. Um Fourth thing, and this thing was very important, very kind of annoying to me when I was living in the US. Is the fourth thing is that when you're in Mongolia, when you live in Ulaanbaatar, you lose the pressure of political correctness, right? So there's just, especially I was living in LA, and it's a very left. I mean, it's far. There could be people. There's a bigger, larger group of people who falls into the far left, political whatever, far left. And that is also a big part of the online community and being overly political correct, and that puts a muzzle on you. If you actually buy into that idea, or if you get intimidated by the pressure, which to a certain extent I was being pressured, or I bought into the pressure, and the political correctness was quite suffocating. So here I don't feel that pressure at all. I mean, I can say whatever the fuck I want, and sure, if someone does not like it, but like they don't cancel you, they don't think you're a horrible person. Because everyone says shit, everyone curses, everyone says dumb shit. There's not much of a cancel culture here, or they don't. Yeah, because there's more of a variety in the human characteristic makeup here. I think there's more leniency into that. Oh, how messy people can be, and how beautiful that is. Accepting each other for how we are, without pressuring you to get into a certain box. So that's what I really, really enjoy. Fifth point is the first thing I noticed. The very first thing I noticed when I landed, when I was in my mom's car, and I was looking out the window, is the sky is different. The sky is blue. The clouds are different. The shapes are slightly different. Um, it feels like you're in a different world, which you are, but the clouds do feel different, and the sky feels blue and expand like expand. What's that word? It's just spatially big. It's huge, expansive. And which is interesting. I wonder why, but that's something that Mongolians have said for ever since the beginning. What is the beginning? I don't know, but you know what I mean. Is that this is a country of eternal blue sky, and it is a country of eternal blue sky. I do agree with it now. I didn't agree with it before because I had no idea, but I do now. It's beautiful. People should everyone who's able to, should experience the sky and the nature here. That I will say to anyone. Sixth point is, okay, this is important, and it is relatable to a lot of people. Is the pressure to get married and to settle down and have kids is real. It's quite annoying because I'm 28 now. To me, I'm not late. There's no such thing as being late to getting married, finding a person, having children, whatever. I'm not that kind of person. Like, I'm not logical about shit like that. I'm just not really logical. So I don't buy into the idea of like being late, having a biological clock, yada yada. But whatever. A lot of people here and the culture itself thinks getting married and settling down is like number one priority. You need to do it now, whenever, blah, blah, blah. You gotta do it. Everyone's asking me about it. Everyone's telling me to get married. To who? To whom? Why? I don't know. Like, I don't know why. I understand, because it's a societal, cultural thing. People who love me don't want me to be, alone forever and die alone and have kids. It's beautiful and lovely. I understand that. But, like, it's not something you manage, It's not something you organize, plan, go out and pick a person. That's not how I work. So it's just, yeah, different ways of thinking, living. And I know this is relatable to a lot of Asians, a lot of people. To be honest, a lot of people, not just Asians, just anyone except maybe some Western cultures. Very, very small number of people. It's relatable except to a very small number of people. 7, right? 7. Okay. I've been walking a lot because in the beginning I was not driving. I just started driving again here, and driving itself is quite. It's a little different ball game here because a lot more traffic than LA. Yeah, there's a lot more traffic than LA, and a little more chaotic, slightly more chaotic. So yeah. Anyway, so I've been walking a lot, and there are people everywhere. They're everywhere. It's so overstimulating. And I'm talking about a city of like, if I'm rounding up, it's 2 million people, right? Rounding up. Like, I don't want to say 1.5 million people because I do think it's more now than that statistic when that statistic was made. So anywhere between 1.5 to 2 million people. They're just everywhere. People are everywhere. And it's so overstimulating to be walking outside and it's just passing people like that. And, only thing I can compare it to is like New York. Because in LA, people don't walk like that. Everyone drives. So when you're walking, it's like you're walking in a desert. You don't see anyone. So, yeah, and then it's just, it is overstimulating. Really, like the traffic noise, because I'm mostly walking right next to the road. And the people honk a lot. And I'm walking. And there are people walking beside me, coming at me. It's just a lot overstimulating. A lot. 7, was that 7? Okay, 8.8. Okay, communication, like the communication style here, especially with people around me who are older than me by like 20 years, because I'm talking about my family members. That's all I know now at this point. I don't know how young people are communicating with each other and then what their communication style is. But what I've noticed with someone slightly older than me was it's less proactive. So, for example, I'm making a plan, someone tells me something, and the plan changes. They don't tell me the plan changed. Okay? I either ask, confirm, or it's like very last minute. Like they tell me last minute. And I'm like, why? You could have told me. What I really would prefer is the minute they changed the plan, they made this decision, they call me and tell me. Or text me, I don't care. Just tell me. The minute the plan changed, tell me. I'm good. Right? Not like last minute. And then I'm like, when did it change? Why are you telling me now? So it's just it's less proactive about plan changes and making plans. Okay, 9th point. And it may come surprising to some people and it may be very obvious to some people. Is things are nicer here than in the US. Right? For example, for me, it's nicer here because I was living alone by myself in LA. And, things were scrappy. I was scrappy. Like, I would pick things up from the street when someone throws something out, or, we had a Facebook page for our neighborhood where it's called Buy Nothing Free Page, where we exchange things that we don't need, which is a great idea. But to make this point, things are nicer here, Like, it's elevated. The things you use are elevated. The services offered are a little more elevated. Asian standards are different than American standards. American standards, I think people can be more scrappy because things are very expensive. Minimum wage and living expenses. There's a gap between income and expenses and all that in the US a lot. And I mean, that is a common issue anywhere. But here, I think people do live cushier lives. There's less need to be scrappy, is what I say. Yeah. So that would be very surprising to my 17-year-old self. And it's not that surprising to me, to my 28-year-old self, that statement. So yeah. So that would be the end of my video here. 9 lessons I've learned. 9 things I've noticed after moving back to Mongolia. after 9 years in LA. And I'm gonna keep posting more. Um, Either vlogs, not daily vlogs, weekly vlogs, or just, Emma Chamberlain style vlogs where, yeah, I really like her style. So that kind of vlogs videos that I want to make. This is just the beginning of the Mongolia series, or this is the beginning of the Mongolia videos. It just started raining, and it's sunny, and it just started raining from like this little clump of cloud. Um, and that's quite fortunate for me to be making this statement where I'm saying this is my first video from the Mongolian video or series. Yeah. See ya.